Are you afraid of AI? Do you think AI is coming to take your job tomorrow? No? Maybe you know that AI cannot take your job right away, but it will take the jobs of your kids. I will not try to calm you if you have those concerns, but I would like to have a rational discussion with you about the real risks to you and to your children that AI actually represents. First, let's put the current AI evolution in its context. History started long before 2020, and earlier in history, many people were afraid of dogs and thought that those prehistoric families who dared to domesticate dogs are taking an unimaginable risk. This happened to people with each and every major evolution in history. Some people had their own reasons to fear printing, radio, phones, computers, robots, nanotechnology, and now AI. There is a huge difference between the first example I gave and all the other examples. Dogs have free will. They act on their internal motives. They have emotions, and their emotions can drive their actions. If you make a dog angry, you should absolutely be careful of what it will do. Can you make a phone angry? Can you make a computer sad? What would an emotionally unstable robot do? Do you see the difference here? Animals are more dangerous than any technology, and yet we have learned to live with animals. Our babies now play with our cats and dogs without any fear. In fact, animals have learned to fear us. A tiger will not attack a human if it is not hungry, but knows for sure that the human can harm it anytime for no reason. So it learned to avoid contact with humans as much as possible. Animals know that the most dangerous animal is a human. This species can build tools that give it extra abilities and make it more dangerous than it naturally is. If you want something to be afraid of, that's exactly what you should fear. Humans with an advanced technology who do not mind causing harm to you, either for a reason or because they can. Yes, people with AI are coming for your job and for your kids' jobs in the future. So, what are you going to do about that? Those who master the technology of AI will possess a competitive advantage over others in the job markets of today and tomorrow. Even with its very limited capabilities nowadays, AI can improve the performance and the output of people in their ordinary jobs, which would help them progress further than others who do not harness the power of AI. That is not the fault of AI, it is the fault of those who refuse to embrace change or fail to adapt to new environments or technologies. History shows us that nature has favored those who tamed animals and those who embraced new technologies in the past. And I have no reason to think that nature will not favor those who learn to use AI tools. You might say that AI is still a niche tool and that it has not been commoditized yet, therefore, it is not a serious threat to your mainstream job right now. Remember that robots are still a niche product, even decades after automation was invented. Machines have already replaced millions of jobs, and today's factories have very little resemblance to the factories of the previous century. A new technology does not need commoditization to change the world. And unless you are ready to adapt, you might not be qualified to do the same job you have been doing in the past 10 years, and a young grad with some AI skills might easily replace you. Evolve. Evolution is a choice. You are free to evolve. Nothing and nobody will push you to evolve. And some people might even try to convince you that evolution is bad for you and for everybody. I would advise you to evolve and embrace new technologies. Those who lost their jobs to automation and robots had a similar choice, and many of them evolved and learned how to build the robots that took their old jobs, then taught their kids to learn and develop automations and robotics to take more jobs from some other people. If you have a problem with evolution, maybe you can ask nature to stop it. I am sure nature would listen. Even if you decide to evolve, and even if you think that AI is not a real threat to your job, I would suggest that right now, people with AI are a serious threat to you in person and a bigger threat to your kids. Their AI feeds on your data, which is part of you. Therefore, their AI feeds on you. The more data about you it gets, the more power it gives those who control it to influence you or to control you. You might think that you are in control of yourself, but the fact is that there are parts of you that are influenced and even controlled by people you do not know. Do you create the knowledge you consume, or is it created by others and presented to you for consumption? Do you develop your own habits, or are they influenced by your peers or the people around you, and by the people who influence them that you do not know? There are people in the world who can influence and sometimes control many aspects of your own life, which are parts of you. Imagine the power those people will have over you when they feed your data to their AI. They already have some control over you. And what do you think will happen when they put their AI to use on you or on your kids? That is not a future risk. This is what is happening now. Yes, in the future, people with AI will come for your job. But right now, today, people with AI are coming at you and at your family with their AIs. What are you going to do about that? I am a programmer, and I have built a learning system back in 1996. So I think I know my way around the risks of AI. I avoid giving AI my data, and I can show you some technical tools for that if you ask. However, I am not capable of protecting my kids who intentionally feed all their data to each and every AI that requests it. Some companies know about my kids more than I know about them. And those companies are owned by people who can feed my kids' data, which is part of my kids and by extension part of me, to their AIs. That would give them an advantage over me right now. But more seriously, over my kids when they grow up. The only thing I can do here is to evolve and to help my kids evolve. Part of the evolution is understanding the threats and designing or improving my tools to face it. I do not want to get technical here. I would just advise you to do everything you can to starve their AI and to use your own AI as much as possible. What about you? Do you think AI is inherently dangerous? Do you want to evolve? Do you want to protect your kids from those people with AIs? And how are you going to do that?